Thank you.
You betcha.
First, we might have had a slight communications issue. I'm not the lead developer. I work very closely with the development team. I'm leading the Infinitecoin Foundation, which is in creation now. My name is Loring Small, as I said, and what I'm here to do is I'm not here to get you to invest in us. I'm not trying to sell you anything. What I want to do is I want to give you information. I want you to come up with your own decisions on whether you want in or not. Now I'm going to start my presentation off with a personal story. I'm going to jump in and out of the story, so I'm forcing you to listen to the end of my presentation. And the meaning of this will become apparent by the end of it. I got into Bitcoins in early 2010. January 2010, I was a freshman in high school. And at the time, I was sitting there wondering, how do I buy things online? I go onto eBay, I go onto Amazon, you need PayPal, you need a credit card. I wasn't 18, what do? Nothing. So this Bitcoin idea, I saw this as a way where I could have financial equality with everyone. I could make payments to whoever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I didn't have to worry about applying for accounts at banks. I didn't need to give anyone my social security number, which I didn't know. And of course, when I went to go tell my parents that I was going to spend my savings on these coins, I got some grief. A 14-year-old kid, I put together maybe $1,000, $2,000 towards a car. I had planned on saving up about $10,000 by the time I needed the car, which just doing odd jobs, shoveling snow, stuff like that. So here I am, and I go on to OTC, which was coming up around that time. I'd walk to the 7-Eleven, the local 7-Eleven with my friend here, who's here with me today. We'd buy money packs, go on to Bitcoin OTC. We found this lovely gentleman named Pirate at 40, and over about a year, we bought a couple thousand Bitcoins off of him. Now I'm going to jump out of my story here because by now you should be hooked. You should be interested to find out how that turned out. I'm not going to spoil it, but I will now get into Infinitecoin. Infinitecoin was created in June of 2013. So it was before the altcoin inflow, all the different coins that came in. It was created mostly as an experiment at the time. The developer who first created it had no idea what he was getting into. It grew popularity because there's 90.6 billion coins in total. At the time, that was unheard of. You didn't have your new coins that are coming out that have their 10 billion coins per block, which I'm exaggerating here, but something people do for publicity. The traditional way to go was a multiple of 21 million, 84 million. They just didn't make a huge coin count because people would write it off as a scam. The developer of Infinitecoin, who first got into it, didn't care about the scam. He didn't care if people thought it was a scam. He wanted to innovate. With a 30-second block time, he thought, if I'm out in public and I need to get a movie ticket, and I have to sit there for 10 minutes while the movie, because this was before zero confirmation Bitcoin transactions were a big thing. It was still kind of in its infancy, so people were like, well, without one confirmation, you don't have the Bitcoins. So the developer was thinking, well, if we make this faster, which again wasn't something that was necessarily done at the time, 30-second block is pretty quick, you can get your ticket, and in 30 seconds, you'll be cleared to go in. If I was sitting there waiting 10 minutes for a Bitcoin confirmation, I think I'd miss the first part of the movie and I'd be confused for the next 2 hours. So what Infinitecoin strives to do now is, like I said, we're not trying to market this onto anyone. We just want to give you the information so you can make your own decisions. Okay, so if I told you that Infinitecoin was this new coin that came out, I promised you millions of dollars, who would believe me? Would anyone here believe me if I said this coin has 90.6 billion coins in total, each coin is going to be worth $1 by the end of the year, buy in now? you would all think I'm just trying to pump the coin. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not making promises to anyone like that. But what we're going for is we want to experiment further and go for this public adoption that hasn't been seen yet. Now, first, I want to make apparent where we've been as Infinitecoin, where we are now, and where we plan to go. In 2013, it was an experiment. We just wanted to see what would happen. The lead developer at the time got in over his head, and he ended up leaving. A new development team came in late 2013, picked up the pieces, and put everything back together. We have about 15 guys all working together on a bunch of different aspects. The development itself, design. We're not that, don't get me wrong, we're not that interested in the marketing aspect of it yet, because we don't want to push a half-finished product on people. We want people to have something that can actually be used. A lot of coins that are coming out right now, they promise people money, and there's not much you can do with them yet. There isn't much innovation. What defines a successful coin, in my many years of coin experience, is first and foremost, you have to have a good development team. The infrastructure comes next. The infrastructure comes from the development team. You can get the user base whenever you want. You have to be able to have something that the user base wants. You can't force people into your coin. You have to say, this is what we've done. If you like it, come join us. So at the end of 2013, it was kind of at a halt. We brought in all these new guys, and now we're making progress. Right now, what we're currently working on is, like I said, this public way of getting these coins to everyone. We're trying to make it easier to get coins so you don't have to send your money off to some Japanese exchange, which may or may not still exist. We don't want you sending your money to Russia, because the general public isn't going to know how to do this. These exchanges that are in Slovakia, Russia, Japan, how many people here that didn't know Bitcoin, that weren't in a business background, if you were just a person at home, a blue-collar worker, or anyone that wasn't tech-savvy, you weren't savvy on the financial system, how many people would know how to send a bank transfer overseas, have to deal with all the processes along with that, the fees, and I'm still not even sure how to do bank transfers successfully. I had my bank account frozen for a $500 transfer payment in from BTCE. So at that point, I was like, okay, $500, you're going to freeze my account. I'm not interested in your fiat money anymore. So what we're doing right now, which I keep jumping into and then stepping back to add more backstory here, is we're working on mobile development first and foremost. Not everyone has a $2,000 computer that can mine. You can't carry around these, your desktop with you that you have your wallet QT on. You need a secure mobile wallet so you can easily send payments to any processor. You walk into a pizza place and you want to show them your phone, have them scan it, and they have their coins, or vice versa. And your payment is made and confirmed within 30 seconds. This is a global currency. The 90.6 billion coins that are there isn't so that people can have 100 million coins to themselves, although it is a very nice feature. It's so that should everyone decide to go the way of fiat, or should everyone decide to go the way of cryptocurrencies, there'll be enough for everyone in the world to make reasonable transactions. If Bitcoin, it is the leading cryptocurrency right now, if everyone adopted it right now, we would have 21 million coins to split 7 billion ways. Of course, some people would have more, some people would have less. Hypothetically, Bitcoin is now worth $100,000, which is possible in the future, and we now have to split that Bitcoin up so many ways to buy something. You get your paycheck, and it's 0.0004 Bitcoins. What happens when someone makes a mistake and sends you 0.00004 or adds a zero, and you just accidentally lost thousands of dollars? We also want to make sure that everyone has access to mobile infrastructure. We're working on exchanges ourselves which is something that's a little bit farther down the line, but we'd like to do. We have the basic foundation. We're trying to make it so you can buy these coins off of common payment or from common payment processors, such as eBay, Amazon, places where there is general trust in the public. We're hoping that by the time everything is done, you don't have to go talk to some person online on an IRC or OTC and hope that they're going to send you your money. We want you to be able to take your US dollars, buy the coins on Amazon, and work from there, which you can now get used with gift cards, so there's no age restriction here anymore. Cryptocurrencies don't care how old you are. They don't care what you've done in the past. If I was a criminal, I would have my finances monitored all the time. Prior criminal. I'm not. If I got a parking ticket and I didn't pay it, you're now at a higher risk of having people watch your funds. And I'm not saying you should use cryptocurrencies to embezzle or money launder, because those are ugly words. I'm saying you should use cryptocurrencies and feel fairly secure that you aren't being watched for no good reason. Now, if you're running some criminal syndicate somewhere, they're going to watch you. I can't promise you that you're going to get away with any of that. And please don't bring that negative publicity here, because I've seen more than enough articles saying, CEO of Bitcoin arrested for something. I'm like, CEO of Bitcoin, really? Okay, the guy owns, whoever it is, they own an exchange or they own some service, and now they're the CEO of Bitcoin. One of my purposes here was to inform people so that, and I get it out to the people and to the media, that cryptocurrencies are not run by a single person. The development team, they help. The people that are supporting infrastructure, they help, but they are not pivotal to the coin itself. So please stop with the articles saying that Bitcoin CEO was arrested. People freak out, and then it brings a bad connotation to the coin itself, and then we can't keep on going on with public adoption. So actually, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I haven't explained Infinitecoin's features in themselves. As I said, 90.6 billion coins in total. About 90 billion have already been mined, which I will say, it sounds daunting at first, but because of when Infinitecoin came out, because it was mid-2000s, it wasn't when everyone's rushing in. The coins were more or less distributed in the same way that Bitcoin was. Everyone's sitting there going, well, people are holding tens of thousands of Bitcoins, and now they're worth $500 each. People are now multimillionaires all over the place. But that's just not how it works. As I'm sure many of you that heard about Bitcoin early know, you spent them. At $10 a coin, I was ecstatic. At $3 a coin, I was ecstatic. At $1 a coin, I was ecstatic, and I sold off a fair bit. Now, to finish up what I was saying with my story previously, those 1,000 Bitcoins, or those couple thousand Bitcoins that I ended up buying off of OTC in 2010 into 2011, I suppose, I got a whole lot of flack from my parents and peers about that. You just put $900 into what? This thing that's not real? It's going to be shut down by the government. It's going to be taxed like everything else. I was like, okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just money. Money is money. People have their own intentions. What they can do with their own money is their own problem. If someone's a criminal and they're using money, they can be prosecuted in this, or using cryptocurrencies, they should be prosecuted in the same way as using fiat, and vice versa. So I got all of this flack from my friends and family, so I sold my coins. That couple $1 million that it would have been today, I got, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000. Used it to pay field trips and all that other stuff that's important to a 14 or 15-year-old kid. That $900 that I took out of my bank that was supposed to go to my car would have been, I don't even like thinking about it. And the worst part is, I did it once again. I got into Litecoin day one. I was on the exchange trading, I don't know, $50 worth of Bitcoins, which was, I don't know, 10, 12 Bitcoins at the time. Bought myself 12,000 Litecoins. I ran a silver mutual fund for a while, and I was giving people shares in physical silver, which I was holding, to bring liquidity to the market. And I was getting 1,900 Litecoins per ounce of silver at $35 or $30 an ounce or so. I sold out once again. Let people talk me out of it. It's not happening again. Here's my message. My message that I wanted to make clear is don't let people that don't know what they're talking about talk you out of anything. Yes. That's why I said I'm not here to sell you on anything. I want you to get the information. I want you to be able to make your own decisions, do your own supplemental research, and find out if this coin is right for you. So please, don't let anyone talk you out of anything. You are the only one whose opinion matters. If you find some bad news about your coin, maybe sell some, maybe hold on to them. All up to you. Don't let anyone talk you out of anything, or you could end up missing out on a huge opportunity. Thank you very much, and I'd like to open it up to questions now, if anyone has any. Yes?
Were you mining, because I saw the chart of how Infinitecoin actually, it just right away, as far as total coins goes, it just opens right up, you know? And then it just progresses very slowly with the climb.
Yeah, that has to do with, I'm sorry I didn't talk about it earlier, the block count, or how many coins there were per block initially. It was 512,000 coins per block because it was an experiment. People weren't sitting there going, okay, this is going to be $512,000 in a year. They just wanted to use these coins as a way to test Infinitecoin as a whole. That's why there aren't people that are holding these hundreds of millions of coins or more, or there are, but there aren't many holding them because it was distributed freely to everyone. There were giveaways for millions of coins. I think 100 million coins was given away in just like a regular giveaway thread on Bitcoin Talk. And that is now thousands of dollars. People weren't thinking that this is going to be worth something. So the block count started at 512,000, and block halving was every month. It still is, which is why it opens up way in the beginning, the huge amount of coins generated in the beginning, and then it's slowed down significantly. It's not because people wanted to pre-mine into it, fairly pre-mine, if that's what we want to call it. It's because we just wanted to see how it would work. We wanted to see what would happen when we ran out of coins to mine, because at the time, all of the coins that were in existence, it was 80 years until we'd find out what would happen, or something like that. So we wanted to see what would happen once all the coins ran out, and then every other coin in existence could use what we found and then alter how they were going to work. We don't know what's going to happen to Bitcoin after all the coins are mined. Is the price going to go through the roof and people are going to rely on transaction fees? Or is that just what we're hoping? Will people leave the chain when there's nothing left to mine? So some people are now starting to beat us to the punch with the new crypto inflow. People are making coins that are completely pre-mined to begin with, and then you have to see what happens there. But I would say Infinitecoin is our best bet on seeing what happens at that point in a slightly more natural form. Any other questions? Thank you very much.